So this tractor right here stirred up some controversy for me, and I got a lot to say about it, but we'll get to that later in the video. Hey, it's Brock here from Rock Hill Farms, and I just got to the Equip Expo in Louisville, Kentucky, and I come to this show every year, and I go to a lot of farm shows and equipment shows, and I always do the same thing. I walk around the show and I show you products, and I tell you how amazing they are. And that's not what I'm planning to do today, to be honest. So I left my house at midnight to get here. Then I got into the show at 9 a.m. and stood in line for over an hour to get my badge. So I'm kind of riled up today. And as I walk around, I've been here about an hour, and I'm looking at all these products and thinking a lot of this is probably just gimmicky junk. Now, there's some great companies and great products here, but I've shown you all the big tractor brands and all that kind of stuff. So today, we'll just see how the mood goes, but I think I'm just gonna tell you all the crap I see. Should be a lot of fun. So here we have some mini trenchers. I've actually used one of these in a demo before. You start off with a big power head from like a big concrete saw. Is the geo ripper goes on the end of it. And I used this before, and I looked at it and I thought, man, that's cool and different and innovative. But as I really think about it, I don't know how useful a product like that is. There's a very small niche for a guy who needs to make little bitty stretches of trenches, and he doesn't want to take trenching equipment with him, and he doesn't mind that it's going to beat him up. But you're going to spend a fortune on that little handheld trencher that would suck. If you really needed a trench that was longer than 10 feet, that thing's going to beat the tar out of you. So I wish, like all these companies, I wish them the best, but man, that's a lot of money to do it the hard way. Here's an example. This is a brand I've never heard of. Cenex. That's an electric push mower from a brand I have never heard of. And here is a sit-down zero-turn mower from a brand I've never heard of. And you can tell by looking at it that it's a homeowner-grade electric mower. And Cenex might be the future of battery-powered outdoor equipment, but I doubt it. I've looked at them all before, and in my opinion, battery-powered mowers are impractical. They cost too much, they don't have enough power, they don't do a good enough job, they're twice as much as the gas-powered equivalent, and I think the whole thing is halfway mandated on us when 5% of customers are interested in it, and it takes up half of a show like this. And if I was gonna buy one, it would take a lot of convincing. When there's 117 brands, it would take a lot of convincing for me to believe Cenex is the one. Now, what I normally do is tell you about a product and everyone tells me it sucks. So today, I want you to rip me apart the other way. Tell me why that's a great product, that's a great mower that everybody needs. Next thing I've come up to is Ditch Witch, and they do not suck. I have a ton of respect for the Ditch Witch products. I have been won over slowly but surely by my Baumolite mini skid steer. I didn't think I would like them. I do. And look at the size of this one. This is the size and capacity of a regular traditional sit-down skid steer in a stand-on unit, which to me feels like there'd be some safety concerns with that, but man, would it be fun. Now there's a trencher. Now when I say now there's a trencher, the truth is running attachments like that on a mini skid steer is still pretty limited compared to a full-size skid steer. I just did it with the stump grinder, and I thought this thing is awesome. The form factor is awesome. It's convenient. It's cool. I like the ergonomics of how you use it, but it doesn't have the power that I would like it to have. And so even the mini skid steer version is somewhat limited. Now, this is still a huge step up over that handheld unit. So if I'm not getting the real deal that's effective, maybe you should just rent one. So this machine right here is brand new from Ventrac and looks awesome. It's got some features that I was really surprised by. I like that Ventrac so much that I did a separate video on it. I don't know if that'll be out first or second, but I thought that machine was worth its own video. Here we have more electric mowers. I just see these as toys. If you disagree with me, tell me about it. I got the Ego guy on camera with me 2 years ago at the Expo, I believe, and he told me everything that's great about these, and you guys didn't believe a word of it. And it's one of those things you have to see it to believe it. Will it really run all day like they say it will? Or is that just how it performs the first week, but you have it for 3 months and it doesn't anymore?
I don't have anything outside. Just ACR.
And I want to make it perfectly clear, I'm not negative towards the Ego brand. They may be the best on the market, or maybe they're not. I have no idea. I do like to give credit to a company that was first in a market, and that's the case with the Kanga loaders. Essentially, Kanga invented the mini skid steer. And maybe some other brands would try to make that claim too, but I've kind of verified that Kanga was the originator of this. And all the other mini skid steers saw it and knew it was a good idea. But when you came up with the idea, that might mean you have the best product. Now, the only thing is I don't know about dealer support in the US right now. So a while back, I had some drama about this tractor. I released a video about the 2515 getting a new cab model, and TYM said they weren't ready to announce that. It was a prototype that was let out into the wild, but they didn't want it publicly announced. So I removed that video, and here at the Equip Expo, they're unveiling that tractor, but it's actually got a different model number, but it's still the 2515 essential tractor, the 25 horsepower affordable cab tractor with the crazy high lift capacity. Now, if you want to see this machine that's brand new from TYM, if you want to see this thing in action, I've already got a video out just showing this running a hay baler on the PTO with the air conditioner running when it was 100 degrees out, and we were carrying 3 round bales on, 2 on the loader and 1 on the 3-point. So we really pushed this thing to the limit. So if you're interested in an affordable 25 horsepower tractor with 2,200 pounds of lift capacity, I'll put a link at the end of this video where you can check out that video. So this is the new TYM T3025 that I talked about in the intro, and it is not just a 2515 with a cab. It is upgraded. One example of that is the 3-point raise and lower control on the outside. That's a feature that my 574 has, and I didn't know how much I would care about that, but turns out it's kind of a big deal to me. When you're going to hook up an implement, it makes it so much easier. One of the best things about these shows is that a lot of my favorite people are here. And there's a tendency at these shows for us all to stand next to each other and talk for a minute as an introduction. And I don't know how much value that adds for the viewer. So I'm going to do a big group shout out to all these awesome YouTubers that are here. If you don't already follow their channels, I think you probably should. So we've got Tony from Tony's Tractor Adventure, and Lucas from Peaks Peak Hobby Homestead, Brad from Piney Grove Homestead, Ed from My Cluttered Garage, John from A Ritter Bit Will Do, and our buddy Ed, who doesn't have a channel, but he's always here. So my badge at this show says Dixie Chopper. They were nice enough to provide me with that entrance to the show, because this is the same company that makes the Rhino brush cutter that I've been showing in my videos lately. The same parent company, Rhino and Dixie Chopper. So I've got a representative from Dixie Chopper here to tell me a little bit about their line of mowers. And could you tell us first just a little bit about the company?
So Dixie Chopper was founded in 1980 by Art Evans in Coatesville, Indiana. The whole point was to build a mower with more speed, power, and performance than what was out there in the industry at that time.
Yep. And where are these machines made?
Yeah, we're in Coatesville, Indiana.
And they're still made in the same place today?
Yeah, so the Evans family farm is where it all got started. And we actually are still building mowers on that same property today.
That's fantastic. Now, I do mower reviews for a lot of different brands. And what I look at in the comments is when people get fired up to tell me that I haven't looked at the best mower yet, it's this brand or this brand or this brand. And a lot of people come to me to talk about Dixie Chopper. So I know that there's a lot of loyal Dixie Chopper customers out there. Let's take a look at a couple of these models.
So new for this year is the Falcon HP. This is our high-end residential model. And then we also launched the Falcon HPX, which is kind of the big brother to the HP. This is a prosumer entry-level commercial model. Both of these models have a 48, 54, and 60-inch deck with a nice deep shell on it. So that's going to handle more volume in the grass. Both of these models are going to be powered by Kawasaki engines. You've got the 24 horsepower FR engine, which is more residential based. And then you've got the 24 horse FT engine. This is more of a commercial engine. But both of these models are very comfortable for the operator. Under the seat, you've got these isolators. Give the operator a little extra comfort in the grass when they're out there mowing.
I've been reviewing a lot of $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 high-end commercial mowers, but a lot of my viewers tell me they're not that interested in those. You know, some are, but
Sure.
A lot of them are looking for more of a homeowner mower.
Yeah.
So is that what these are?
That's exactly right. So the Falcon HP is the perfect mower for somebody who's got, a couple acres at the house, need to cut it down, make sure the finish cut's really nice. This model, the way it's equipped, somewhere around that $7,000 mark, kind of depending on where your dealer is and how it's outfitted with what deck size. Whereas the HPX, this could be a guy that's wanting to get into commercial mowing. Maybe he's wanting to start a landscape company. This machine, as it sits, is somewhere in the $8,000 mark. Again, depending on your dealer and what kind of deck it's got underneath it. As they grow and they expand their business, they add more clients, they might want to move up into a more heavy-duty commercial model.
And you guys do have the big commercial mowers
Absolutely.
available.
We've got mowers that start at 42 inches all the way up to 74 inches.
Speaking of dealers, that's the most important thing to a lot of customers, dealer network.
Absolutely.
Are you guys national or are you more regional?
We're global. So we've got dealers obviously across all the U.S. We're into Canada, Puerto Rico, Australia. So really growing that global network. And that's why we come to this show. I mean, this is a great opportunity to meet dealers from all over the country to where we can add to that dealer network and get more customers out there.
Hey, I appreciate you taking time to show us all this.
Yeah, thanks, Brock.
So if you guys follow the channel, you might remember a video I did a while back titled The Best Tractors That Nobody Talks About. And that was highlighting a Yanmar. So I came over to the Yanmar booth today and said, do you guys have anything new or different that I haven't covered before? So I've got Daniel here and he's going to tell us a little bit about 3 new tractors from Yanmar for 2024 and 2025.
All right, so we have some exciting things to show you this year. The first thing we're going to start with today is the new SM series that we brought to the U.S. market. This is going to be the largest tractor that we've offered to date for the U.S. What you're going to get with this tractor is a high lift capacity loader. The loader is going to be able to lift over 3,300 pounds. That's a new benchmark for us. We've been asked for several years that we need to bring something larger than our old 3 Series. Many people are familiar with the YT3. This is the next step up for us. So,
okay. And so this is a utility tractor, so I assume that's only going to be available in gear drive?
This is available in gear drive, but it is a power shuttle. So when you go into the power shuttle, you're not going to need to use the clutch when you go forward reverser. Something nice on this, if we go around to the other side, I can show you. If you're the operator and you want to go into it and be able to tune this to get the exact performance that you want to do. So if you're working up against a wall, you want to slow down the response, you can turn this dial it back a little bit. If you're back out in the open, turn it back up. That's a great feature, not only for personal preference, but just different use types. And just one more thing that I wanted to show everyone on the loader that's new for us in the U.S. market is this is also going to be a self-leveling loader. That's a nice feature when you get up and you start doing material handling with pallet forks, even working with the loader bucket. It's just a lot easier not having to worry about the angle of your bucket when you're moving things around.
You guys know I'm a huge fan of the self-leveling loaders. This probably comes standard with the 2 sets of rear remotes.
2 standard rear remotes, come standard with flex links. Really outfitted.
Telescoping sway bars. This is a different looking top link. Is that fairly standard on a category 2 or is that something unique?
This is a little bit unique, but it's just the design itself functions exactly like a normal category 2 would. Drop your pin in, no difference.
So it's cool to see that they're advancing into the larger machines. Now, personally, I'm not in the market for a utility tractor. Let's go check out the smaller options. All right, so what is this machine?
This is an exciting new machine that we brought out here to unveil at the show. We're calling this the Kuro 223. This is based off of our existing 223 model. But what's really cool about this is we've added in several requests from the market, and this is a higher trim level spec that basically throws on everything we've been getting requests for the last couple of years on. The first thing that may notice is the hybrid tire pattern tread. So this is a combination between R4, R3, to where you can have more of an intermediate tire that will work really well in all applications. But at the same time, the styling is going to stand out to you. If you look at the other models, you may see flat labels. These are all 3D labels. The color schemes, the wheels, we don't have black wheels on anything else. So this is kind of that special package that if you want this appearance, this is what we're bringing with this model. The branding is going to continue on into the seat. So we've never had a suspension seat on any of the subcompact tractors. We're bringing out a suspension seat, not only suspension, but custom embroidered, branded.
Yeah, it seems like usually with most brands, you need a little bigger machine before you get that suspension seat.
You do. And that was quite the challenge. We went back to our engineering team and really kind of put in some strong requests to see what we could do and was able to pull it off. But we're happy and we're really excited to see the feedback at the show on this.
Here's one thing that I really like. I added a full brush guard to both of my tractors. I think it's important to protect this more than just the normal 2 bars. So that's a nice little upgrade.
It is, and not only the styling, of course, with that, but most people will notice that this isn't the standard grill guard either. This is our heavy-duty deluxe grill guard version. When you're going to, service it, you flip it down, gives you more clearance to open the hood up, so you're not fighting with anything.
And so is this tractor available yet?
This tractor will be coming out later this year. We're looking probably the summer is when you're going to start really seeing these come into the market.
Fantastic. So we've got a larger tractor, and then we've got a premium version of a small tractor, and then we've got something completely new. So what do we have here?
This is the centerpiece, most exciting thing that we're rolling out this year. This is our first glimpse of the prototype electric tractor that we've been working on in the background for quite a while. We showed a little bit of a teaser last year, but now we're letting you see a little bit more details under the hood and see how we're going to be doing this. This is fully electric, plug and play. You don't have to deal with any of the inconveniences of the diesel, the smell, vibration, sound. If you want to go work at night and you live in a subdivision and you don't want to bother your neighbors, you won't believe how quiet these are. If we go up to the front here, the power package, of course, we're very integrated, as mentioned earlier. So this is a company that is one of our companies is Elio, the batteries. So we're keeping the batteries in-house. The capacity on this one is going to be around the 18 kilowatt hours. We're expecting, you're going to run depending on usage type, but at least half a day or more, depending on what the operator's doing. This will likely be coming to market around, say, the 2026 timeframe. And we're really excited to see what the adoption is. There's been a lot of questions and a lot of interest in it, but nobody has really come to market in this category fully committed. We're trying to make this as smooth of a transition as possible. So when you hop in the seat of this, from the what you would normally use for a throttle to the drive pedals, everything on this tractor, full implement compatibility with everything that we have. When you get on this, you could get off this, get on the old diesel versions, and not know a difference. The only thing you're going to realize is your diesel engine is no longer running.
And I know what everyone's going to say. Yeah, but how long does the battery last, and how long does it take to charge? Are you far enough down the line to answer those questions, or is that maybe a year away?
No, I think we're very good to get some projections. We're very confident to start saying loosely around, say, like a four-ish hours, but it's very dependent on the usage type. And I think anybody in this industry is already going to tell you that. If you see advertisements of usage, if you use 100% output, you're going to have lower runtime. If you run it easier, you'll have more.
Just like a diesel, it's a gallon per hour
It is.
idling and 2 if you're running a bush hog.
If you get on our large tractors, they'll run all day long in a fuel tank. Now, if you were to go out here full throttle, full load all day long, you're going to burn a lot of fuel.
As far as like a 3-point hitch and a
Yep.
PTO,
Yep.
it's exactly the same. It
P-
operates exactly like
PTO operates the same. Rear remotes operate the same. You'll be able to put a third function on the loader, use grapples, use a mid-mower deck, even a snowblower on the front. Everything will work the same with this as it does on the current one.
So very cool. I definitely think there's a future with electric tractors in it. Now, it may be a journey to get there, but you got to start with that first model. So I look forward to seeing if you guys get this out onto the market. And, you know, if I was going to get an electric tractor, I'd want to get one from a brand that, you know, was not new. I wouldn't want to start with a company that had just hit the market. At least this is going to have the Yanmar service and support behind it,
Right.
and the engineering. So,
Absolutely.
well, I really appreciate you taking time to show us these tractors, and let's head on to the next booth. Recently, I showed a Yakta mower with Chad from Doss Farms, and we were talking about the fact you could switch attachments on the front end of it just by pulling a lever and driving away. And that's what we've got right here. So this machine is a zero-turn mower, but it's also whatever else you need to be. So it's similar to a tractor in the versatility that you can hook up a cultivator or an aerator or a seeder or a snowblower or different attachments to the same machine. This is an impressive machine right here. Now, I have no idea what it cost or the background of the company, but you see that grapple right there? Some radical aggressive tires. Interesting alternative to a tractor if you do more mowing than tractor work. I don't know enough about this to have an opinion, but it sure the heck looks cool. This one has front and rear wheels. I'm a big fan of the wheels on the back because it's the best thing I've found. But on the front, I don't know why you wouldn't just use a traditional airless tire. All of these types of machines are just radical to look at. I mean, it looks like something you would ride out into the zombie apocalypse. And I actually know what it's for, and I can see the application that you've got a cultivator, you've got a Harley rake on the front, and then like a 3-stage grading tool on the back. But for the right customer, you know, this is a commercial show for commercial equipment. Here's some walk behind stuff. I think Tractor Time with Tim used some Bluebird equipment, and he had a walk behind stump grinder he was using. And having your own engine for each attachment, as opposed to, you know, these are obviously for someone who doesn't have a tractor, but having all these different engines on your property when you could run all these same things off your tractor is no fun to me. Like a chipper like this, or a similar size and design of stump grinder, is just gonna beat the tar out of you to run it. The amount of cool stuff at these shows is just never ending. I could make a video that was 4 hours long and never show the same thing twice, not even see everything once. Jake from Dude Ranch DIY runs one of these Cormidi, or he used to run a Cormidi mini skid. Here they've got a purpose-built cement mixer. So much crazy equipment, but it's all specialized for a very select customer. I did not come up here to make a video being negative about electric equipment, but the last thing I need is a battery-powered log splitter. And these DeWalt log splitters, that one's battery-powered too. But they have a gas-powered one, but it's really just the same splitter you get at Tractor Supply with DeWalt stickers on it. Pre-mixed fuels. Fuels for professionals. For 2-stroke engines, 4-stroke engines. Easy start, ethanol free. For me, those pre-mixed fuels are overpriced and all hype. No interest in it. I would love nothing more than to have a side-by-side on my property. It would make life so much easier. But to be honest, I don't need the biggest and the best and the fanciest. I just need something simple that cuts down on the number of steps that I take every day. Is Bighorn, is that the brand for me? No idea, but I guess I should check out some of the different models here. I don't see any pricing on these. Looks like a really simple unit, which is what I'm looking for. Here is a brand that I only see at this show, Wacker Neuson. Anybody know anything about these? Put it in the comments. I talked to their salespeople. They said it's a big national and global brand and they've got dealers all over the country, and for whatever reason, I've never seen one of these machines outside of this show. So here's the same machine I have, but mine has the auger, a bucket, a grapple, and now a stump grinder for it. I wonder how well it handles this mulching head. Love to find out.
Alright, well, I appreciate you taking time to watch this video. I'll put links on the screen to a couple more of our videos, and I'll see you next time.